do the quick intro, Dean, and the oath, and then I'll pass the baton over to you. And I'm going to use an oldie but goodie joke that I like to say, Dean, which is if you're here for biochem, you're in the right. No, you're not. It's not biochem. I like saying it because it's the course that feared such anxiety amongst college students. I just think it's funny. So that's my sense of humor, and I apologize. No, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. So we're here for the power of story brands with Dean Francis. So if you're here for that, you are in fact in the right room. So if you could go to the oath, Dean, the next slide.
Oh, yes. Okay. Sorry. I'm there.
There we go. Yay. So if everyone could repeat after me, make sure you're on mute or it'll sound like a garbly donkey mess on Facebook. um, I, Tiffany Joy Green, do solemnly swear to accept the lifelong obligation to hone my superhero powers and apply those superhero powers to the good of the people I serve. I will promote and add to the ongoing success of Empower People, its members, and the people, organizations, and communities it serves. I will help prepare the next generation of superheroes. I am driven to be a positive change agent for those I serve and interact with. Okay, and now this is my favorite time where I get to pass the baton over to Dean.
All right. Thank you, Tiffany. Great to be here with you all today. I love the story brand marketing topic. It changed my life in 2019. And I'm not a marketing expert. I don't have a marketing company, but it is something I'm passionate about. I really ingrained myself in it years ago. And I'm going to pass on some things today that hopefully inspire you and also cause you to take some action steps. I think more than anything, I'm probably here to help you build a mentality if you don't already have this mentality to go into all of your marketing. I think that's probably the biggest thing you'll take away from. I hope that you'll actually get the book Story Brand by Donald Miller if you've not yet read it, and his followed up book called Marketing Made Simple. You'll see that kind of in my slide. So we're going to get into the formula of story brand. So there's three primary steps that you want to make sure is being applied in your marketing. Then I'm going to show you some examples of how to apply it. And then we'll finish up at the end with kind of a summary and remind everybody this is all about reflecting your purpose. So if I haven't met you before, you can tell I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan. My family, Sarah and I, we've raised 5 kids here in Richmond, Virginia over the last 30 years. But that is still my home state, and you can tell I'm quite a fan. Oh, by the way, that's my lovely wife on the right, Sarah, and my amazing mom, who's 81, there in the middle. Okay, so we're going to go through the formula, how to apply it, and then we'll open it up to some Q&A. Marketing. Look, when it comes down to it, you want to build a brand, you want to market, you got to stand out. And that is harder than it's ever been. People are getting bombarded with marketing messages everywhere all the time. And you've got to find a way to stand out. Consistency and design and things like this are really important. But the words that you use consistently matter the most. So I could be the greatest designer in the world, make your website nice and colorful and all these nice things. Okay. And you'll be like, oh, this is great. And it has bells and whistles and it's, but if you don't have a clear, concise message that resonates with people and grabs them and attracts them in, you got nothing. So that's what Story Brand is about. If you don't know who Donald Miller is, he had a marketing agency. He was doing really well, but then he had an opportunity to go to Hollywood. And in Hollywood, he learned there's actually 7 steps to every single movie that you and I ever watch, which is why we as human beings, as ADD as we are, will actually sit there for 2 hours compelled by the story that we're hearing when it's done right. And it's in all great movies. All he did was get it into his marketing. This is what happened after he did it. His business doubled the next year. The next year, again, it doubled. And again and again. 4 years in a row, his business actually doubled. And then he wrote this book. So it wasn't a theory. He's talking from experience. I'm going to boil down that formula to the 3 most important steps. It's stating the problem, then the solution, and then painting a picture of what life looks like after people are involved with your product or service. Now, before I get into that formula, I want to build on your mentality, okay? I love this statement right here. Words create worlds. It's true. You and I have heard our whole lives that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, what's happening is when we use our words carefully and in the right way, we're creating a picture. We're creating something that's emotionally compelling to people. And so words can create images and things in people's minds, and that's what's drawing them, not just the facts and intelligence behind what you do. So years ago, many years ago, 30 some years ago, I used to follow a guy named Tom Hopkins. So Tom Hopkins at the time was considered the #1 sales trainer in the United States. He set records in the real estate industry that I think have still not been broken. He's in California and he had these amazing conferences and he would teach you tremendously about sales. Well, back in that day, um, most of the work that we did in sales and marketing, a lot of it had to do with what we said verbally. So we're on a phone call, we're meeting somebody in person. And so it's probably close to 100% of the success we were having in business. It had to do with our ability to communicate verbally with our words. So Donald Miller, in contrast, is really, to me, the guy that I follow today. And because in today's world, it's really about what's in print. It's the digital. People are seeing things on their phone. Certainly, it can be a video, but it's so much is just these words in short periods of time. And so, probably 80% of the success that we actually have today is really the words and the things that we're putting on our website or social media, print, email, and just saying things appropriately in a way that compels people to move forward. You think about sales versus marketing. I don't mean to take away from people like Tom Hopkins, because if you're in a business, ultimately there's a human element. That's that high touch part that's critical, where we care about people, we empathize, we meet them in person, we talk about their favorite subject. You know everybody's favorite subject? It's themselves. And so the more that you actually talk to people about themselves, the more people tend to like you. And ultimately, what Tom Hopkins used to always say is that people do business with people they like and trust. Nothing is more important than that right there. That's what's really attracting people and retaining people. And he said the way that you do that is by asking questions. By the way, a little side note, one of my favorite acronyms, WAIT. Why am I talking? The idea is when you're communicating with people is to ask questions, quality questions, and really listen. A lot of times people ask me, because I have a sales background, and so they'll want some sales coaching, and they'll say, Dean, what do I say? What do I say to this person? And I'll say, I don't know. But here's what I do know. If you'll listen and you'll ask really good questions, you'll figure out what to say. Like, it won't be hard. If you know your product and service and you believe in it, you're going to come across great. So that's all super important. But so much of our business today is what people see on the social media and on the website. I think you guys know, I mean, as soon as you mention the name of a company today, if I represent a product or service, I mean, within seconds, people are on a website and they're looking at it. I saw a friend last week called me up, say, Dean, I got to tell you, this product's unbelievable. I mean, probably within 30 seconds, I've already previewed the website. Okay. And it's just what we do. And so the words that people are seeing are incredibly important. So what Donald Miller is about helping us make statements that resonate with people and helping us use language that is attractive to them. So I like how he talks about brands. A lot of times you and I think about brands, we think about the design and so forth. And those are all important. Those are good. Don't misunderstand. But he said, really, your brand is so much about how you talk about your business, the way you communicate it. And so I think that's why this is so important. So there's three steps in the formula. Number one, it's stating the problem in words that resonate with your audience. You and I have to state the problem that people are facing accurately in their language. not ours. We are very guilty. It is so easy for us to get into our minutia and our details, and we're losing people. We've got to state the problem first, just like a movie. By the way, let me stop for a second. In a movie, isn't that true? You and I are making a decision whether or not we're going to watch it within 5 minutes. So they don't create a problem. Somebody might die or crash or something go wrong or something, then I'm not even interested in following. I got to see the problem first. And that's how we want to get people's attention in a short period. Always start with the problem, but say it in words that resonate with them, where they think to themselves, oh, that's me. That's how I feel. And when you state things in a way that resonate with people, you know what happens? They immediately say to themselves, that person knows what they're talking about. They immediately now associate you as the expert, you are the authority, simply because you stated their problem in words that resonated. You haven't even talked about your product. You haven't even talked about your values or the things that are great about your company. You haven't said a thing, and you've established so much just from that. Number two is stating the solution with, but here, listen real carefully to this, underline it, okay? With the client as the hero and you or your company as the guide. And that is the other mistake that people make all the time in business. They want to tell you all about their company and how great they are and how they're here to save the day. They're the hero. That is just the opposite of where we're at today culturally. People want to be the hero. Just think about the number of people now that are writing their own book. Okay, right? I mean, with ebooks, they are the hero. They're the authority. I mean, that's just how it is in our world today. People want to win the day. And so you want to talk to them always about how the solution equips them to be the hero for their customers or the people they serve, or whatever that might look like. You and I are the guide. We are the ones that serve them. We come alongside. What do? We equip them with a weapon to go win the day. And so what is the weapon? It's our product or service or advice, whatever it is that we do. We are their trusted guide. Finally, you got to paint the picture of what life is going to look like after they've been involved with you. And so I'm going to show you examples here in a moment, but that's really important. And you want to kind of paint that picture of what it is they would like to see, or what they would like to have happen, or how they would like to feel. So put yourself in their shoes as much as possible. And before I go on, let me just tell you something I did years ago that helped me with this. I had four couples come over to our house. I was in a previous business, and I wanted to get their feedback because I didn't know them real well. That was actually the agreement. Okay, I told my wife she's good at meeting people. She knows people. People like her and trust her. Okay, so she's easy to like. And I said, just tell them we'll give them $100 gift certificate to the restaurant of their choice. If they'll just come over and give me 2 hours, they're just going to be kind of a forum for me. I'm not selling them anything. I really just want their feedback. And so a focus group is what you'd call it. And I asked questions and I let them respond. Oh my goodness, it was mind blowing. And after the meeting, my wife said to me, so how do you think it went? I said, it was amazing. It was exactly what I needed to hear, but I am incredibly overwhelmed. I had realized at that point, after being in that business 30 years, I had kind of lost sight of kind of where people were at today. I was still kind of in an older mindset, and it made me more current. It helped me understand how busy people are and how more challenging it is to get their attention, and kind of just how things are. Anyway, it was great, and ultimately I came away with phrases. I got the new phrases for my business that I ended up then exploding the next couple of years off of them. But it came from a focus group, listening to people. That's how I learned how to communicate their problem in words that resonate with generally people. And I also found out what resonated with them when I described my solution and the picture. All those things, I got that. So don't think just because you did the three steps, you wrote something out, that you're effectively communicating. I would get with people who don't know you all that well and get their feedback. By the way, I also paid some younger people a very modest amount of money to go ask quiz questions, sort of like, yeah, like, well, quiz questions or little quizzes. And I put phrases together, and I had them go out and just ask, 20 people that were kind of in my market, which of these phrases resonate the most with you, why and why not? I mean, and so this is work. This is roll up your sleeves work, but it pays off in a big, big way. So how do you apply it? By the way, you can consider this a side note, but I think it's just it's worth mentioning. It helped me years ago. We talk about words like sales and marketing, but when someone just kind of clarified it for me, marketing is more the attraction of the leads. It's something you say, or a print piece, or a email, or something that's your top of your headline on your website. That's what's attracting. Sales is the conversion. Now I have someone to talk to. And so now I can polish maybe how I'm communicating from some slides, or things like that. So anyway, this relates to financial advisors. So you want to state the problem first in words that people understand. That's what starts what Donald Miller calls the story loop. It engages people. So if I was a financial advisor today, I might start by saying navigating your financial journey can be confusing. Or here's another way to say it. When it comes to money, most people, they know what they want, but they don't know how to get there. And when you say things that are like that, a lot of times that's attracting the right kind of person. And people go, yes, that's exactly how I feel. I know I'm smart, but I just don't have a lot of time, and I get overwhelmed. It gets really confusing. I hear multiple opinions. I'm not really sure which way to go. And so I like that. I'm driven, I'm intelligent, but I just don't know how to get there. Here is an example of what somebody put in print in an invitation in the financial industry. When it comes to money, most people know what they want, but they don't know how to get there. Join us for this fun informational event that shows you how to get from where you are to where you want to be, so you can worry less about money and enjoy life more. Now, I brought this one up because it's a simple way to break down the three-step formula. So they were really working hard on a webinar, seminar, in their business. And so they stated the problem, right? And then they provided the solution. Join us for this fun informational event that shows you how to get from where you are to where you want to go. Like that, that's going to help me solve my problem. But then they painted the picture of what life looks like after they've engaged. So you can worry less about money and enjoy life more. And so, who doesn't want to worry less about money? That taps into people emotionally and enjoy life more. Here's another one, again, all in the financial industry. A cutting edge tool. We offer a cutting edge tool that works like a GPS, but it's for your money. It shows you how to get from where you are to where you want to go, gives you simple to follow instructions and reroutes as needed, so you can worry less about money and enjoy life more. Now, actually, let me break this slide down just a little bit more. One of the things that Donald Miller says is that you can really only brand one thing. So I understand you might have 5 things to offer. Okay, you might have 5 services. That's great. But when you first talk to somebody or you first communicate your business, you need to really zone in on one of those things. Get people's attention with the one thing. They can then eventually learn about the others. So in this case, this financial group, you can think about all the different products and services they offer, all the things. I mean, they had the whole laundry list, right? We are comprehensive and we do everything. Well, I know, but that doesn't get my attention. So what they thought about was they have a particular financial tool that makes a big difference. All their clients love it. That's what their clients talk about. Clients don't go out and tell their friends about the products and services. The clients go out and tell their friends about how amazing this piece of technology was and how much it helped them. So they decided to kind of brand that. Now, it's not on my slide is the problem. You still have to state the problem first. Most people, when it comes to money, they know what they want, but they don't know how to get there. Our company designed a cutting edge digital tool that works like a GPS, but it's for your money. It shows how you get from where you are to where you want to go, gives simple to follow directions, and reroutes as needed so you can worry less and enjoy life more. So they probably had different variations of this. I grabbed one just to kind of give you the idea and also trying to remind you, you do kind of have to settle in on one main thing. And then you can kind of go from there. Okay. They also had a video. Okay, so in their video, when they were using that as kind of a lead magnet, they had to come up with some print for a landing page for the video. So in this case, they're kind of branding the video to a certain group of people. And so what it did was it just said money affects every area of our life, our marriage, our kids, our careers, and how we feel about ourselves. For most people, the biggest enemy is confusion. People know what they want, but they don't know how to get there. We created a short video that provides 7 steps to create a clear vision for your future. It gives you simple to follow directions to get you from where you are to where you want to go. When you have a clear financial vision and the simple steps to get there, you can worry less about money and enjoy life more. Take the next step by watching 7 steps to create a clear. So this was written out, right? But so this is another version. This one's a little bit longer, but it was in a piece that they put together and they put it in that order, and it made a big difference in the results that they were getting from people. The problem, the solution, and then painting a picture. Now, I'm going to comment just briefly on his second book. It's called Marketing Made Simple, which helps you apply this much deeper than I could go into today. And but just to give you a taste of it, because if I do nothing else but to cause you to actually read these 2 books, it will have a huge impact on you, I promise. The first book, I took an entire legal pad page of notes. I must have read it and listened to it multiple times. I underlined it, highlighted it, studied it. And as I was writing in my legal pad, I was writing out all kinds of practical applications. And then I met with other people and we started working on it as a team. And anyway, had a big impact. Okay. So in the book, Marketing Made Simple, he does talk a lot about the power of a one-liner. And it's getting your main message into one sentence, which is really painfully challenging. And so now for some businesses, it's easier. Most businesses, it's a little bit tougher. And he said one of the problems that we make on our websites is we just get too cute. You've got to be clear. And so if I paint houses, probably my headliner is "We paint houses." Okay, like that would actually be for a website, like really good. Okay, like okay, I'm in the right place. Like because the brain is very simple, and that's where I got to start. However, he does that's probably a headliner. I think what he means when he talks mostly about the one-liner is more of, let's call it a subtitle, and it's more of a full sentence. And it's trying to incorporate those 3 pieces as best that you can. But when you read this as a follow-up to StoryBrand, it's going to help you get into more of the application. So our entire world is made up with words. We talked about that. Words create worlds. And the most powerful tool, this is from Donald Miller. So the most powerful tool any of us can use to magically open up doors is a one-liner. It's the most powerful tool you can use to make customers curious. A one-liner makes people lean in. And so anyway, I was giving you some of that today when I said for a financial group, when it comes to money, most people know what they want, but they don't know how to get there. That's a great way to start. And by the way, he says one-liner. Sometimes it's 2 sentences. We've created a great financial tool that helps you get from where you are to where you want to go so you can worry less about money and enjoy your life more. He would actually say that's all a one-liner. If you can get it shorter, that's better. But this book, between the 2 of them, really helps you kind of nail it down. The other thing, I want you to see how this all fits into your marketing too. So he makes the point that, right, we're in a world where we have a marketing funnel. We kind of start at the top where we just have to get people's curiosity. And that's where these short, simple statements that can resonate with people are really, really important to just get people, get their attention long enough to read more of my website or to read more of the print piece I created or to engage more in my social media, or even just listen to me if I'm talking. So that's where it all starts. That's probably where StoryBrand is the most helpful. And then enlightenment kind of gets into the more detail. So now you're going to write out some more on your website. You're going to have a video, and it's going to lead towards that person with a call to action where they commit. And now you're on a call with them or meeting with them, and you can get into your sales process. Okay. So here's the summary today. It is always in everything that you do, state the problem that people are facing in words that resonate with them. Number two, present the solution with your customer as the hero, not you. And you are the guide. Your company is the guide. Your product or service is the weapon that you're going to equip them with, and ultimately paint a picture of what life looks like after they're involved. So if you start asking yourself that question on everything that you do in marketing, or those questions, you're gonna improve all your marketing. Am I stating the problem in words that resonate most with people? Am I presenting the solution in a way that makes them the hero, not us? Am I painting a picture of what their life is going to look and feel like after? So there you go. I'll stop there. See if I can take some questions. Remember, I'm not the marketing expert. I'm just someone who's passionate about this. By the way, if you did know someone, if you're actually looking for a reference in anything marketing, I'm always happy to do that here in the Richmond area. I've gotten to know lots of really good people. One of the things I've learned about marketing is usually not any one person can do all the things. Some people are really, really good at the copy. Other people are really good at the design. Other people are really great at the technology part. Other people are great on the social media, or sometimes in one house they might have a team, which is great. But always happy to tell you, some references. But any questions?
First and foremost, I just want to say goodbye to all the folks listening and watching on Facebook Live. If you're not currently an Empower People member, I encourage you to join for free at Empower People. That's MPWRpeople.org, and you can join for free. Excuse me, for free. So until next time, goodbye, Facebook land.